Hi guys, Happy New Year. Welcome to 2025. I know I originally told you guys that my word for the year was going to be magical, and I'm still hoping for a magical year, but like I said, magic is something we create. So I will be working on that, but I've decided to change my word to joy, and I'm going to explain why in this video. So stick around. I've got a lot to share. Let's get caught up. Hi guys, Dawn here, the happiest carnivore, and I am back from holiday and I am feeling a little bit sluggish. I'll have to admit, I'm a little bit tired, but we were gone for almost 2 whole weeks. We were busy every single day, and I kind of deviated a little bit from carnivore. We'll talk about that. I've got a lot to share with you. But first, I want to acknowledge any of my new subscribers. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for joining us. I hope I can help inspire you just by telling you my story and sharing some of the information as I know it. Basically, my philosophy on doing the carnivore diet is the whole reason I'm doing it is just to feel as good as I can possibly feel, to be the best me I can be, but to have a better quality of life. I'm not doing this because I'm a strict person or I'm very disciplined and it's hard, because it's not. The carnivore diet is the most luxurious, decadent diet I've ever been on. And I think that's why it's worked for me, because all other diets have always felt like a deprivation diet. The carnivore diet does not feel like a deprivation diet. The first 2 weeks are a little bit difficult because it is an elimination diet and you're going to be giving up carbs and sugars. And that's a little bit, that can be tough. But I'll tell you, out of all the diets I've ever tried, the carnivore diet has made it the easiest, because during those first few weeks, you're not going to be counting carbs or calories. You're just going to be eating meat. You're going to be eating meat like it's your job, because the whole point of those first few weeks is to get rid of the carb addiction and sugar addiction so that you can proceed on healing and losing weight. But first, we got to get rid of those addictions, because that's what, makes it so hard to stick to any diet. You're constantly having these cravings and that makes it difficult. So once we get past that, it's so much easier. So the first few weeks, don't even think about losing weight. Just focus on getting healthy, getting rid of the addictions, eat as much meat as you can all day long. And that's what I did. And ease into it. That's the best advice I can give you. Don't go into it, whole hog right away, because if you're like me, you'll just bounce right back off. I needed to ease into it, and I still was allowing myself to have a few vegetables. I was having avocado, and it helped me. You might be different. That's the one nice thing you're going to find out about carnivores. We all acknowledge, we're not all the same. And so our paths are a little bit different. The end goal is the same. We all want to be the healthiest we can be, and we believe that carnivore is the path to that. But there's going to be, some changes or differences between, one person to the next. We're all a little bit different. Some of us drink coffee, some of us don't. Some of us eat dairy, some of us don't. Some of us drink alcohol occasionally, some of us don't. You'll find out what works for you. But it's an experiment. It takes a while to figure it out. Like, for instance, recently I found out that I need to give up dairy. And so far, dairy I thought was my friend. It has gotten me to this point. I'm into it 6 months. I've lost 50 pounds, and I was doing it and still consuming dairy. And I thought, okay, I can handle dairy. But while we were on our little holiday, I was consuming more dairy than I normally do. And it stalled not only my weight loss, I ended up putting on 2 pounds, but my skin issues are coming back. I'm having the dry patches again and stuff. And I know that's related to dairy. So starting today, I have scaled back on the dairy. No more cheese. And I put a lot of whole cream in my coffee, and I was having 2 coffees a day. That was my treat for the holidays. Well, I've given that up. I'm only going to have 1 cup of coffee a day, and I'm going to cut back how much cream I put in it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to try doing the butter trick. A lot of people just put butter because it's the fat that you need, and it kills the bitterness of the coffee. So I'm going to attempt to do that. We'll see. If not, I'll still use some dairy, but not like I was while I was doing I was on vacation. I was having a lot of extra dairy. And that's the thing. You'll find out what works best for you. Now, the main thing for me personally is just to make sure I'm full every day so that when I do go out or I'm, around other people that aren't doing carnivore, that are eating things that I might be tempted by, I'm not so tempted. I'm full. Because when I get hungry, I can very easily be tempted. So I have to make sure I'm not hungry when I leave the house. I need to eat breakfast every day. And when I get home, I usually eat dinner, and I get home around 3 in the afternoon. So I eat an early dinner, but it helps. I eat twice a day. Some people eat 3 times a day. Some people only eat once a day. So that's something you're going to have to find out for yourself, what works best for you. But from here on out, I'm going to do what is known as I guess it's not the Lion's diet, because the Lion's diet, which is what works the best for most people, and it's something you ease into, is the beef, bacon, butter, eggs, salt, water. And I will be doing that, but I will still be drinking my morning coffee. I need to get over that. I know. And eventually I'm going to work towards that. But my personal belief is if I'm sad or unhappy, I won't stick to this. And I've given up all of my vices, all of my addictions. I need to have something to look forward to. And that my cup of coffee is the one thing that I look forward to, especially in the morning. Maybe I'll get to the point where I don't, and that's good. We'll see. But for right now, I don't think it's affecting me. I don't have any physical ailments from it other than from the consumption of too much dairy in my coffee, which I'm cutting back on. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with all this. But basically, like I said, I'm going to be doing beef, bacon, butter, eggs, salt, and water just for the next 30 days, which means no chicken, nothing but beef. A lot of steak, a lot of ground hamburger, brisket, roast, that kind of thing. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to attempt it and see. I was under the misunderstanding that the Lion's diet was the raw meat diet. And I thought, I don't know if I can do that one. But thankfully, I did a live this morning with Carl from the Primal Lifestyle. He hosted it. And Sarah from Healthy Carnivore UK, and my little brother, I call him, my sponsor, George Goodenough, who also has his own channel. And I'll link all these channels for you so you guys can go visit them. But we did a live this morning and just talking about this next year, doing carnivore, because we all feel like this is going to be the year of the carnivore. There's going to be a lot more people doing it. They've got this documentary coming out letting people know that this is the proper human diet. For so long, we've been led to believe that we need grains, we need fruits and vegetables. And that food pyramid that we've been taught was funded by big pharma and the food industry to get us to buy more of those foods, and also to keep us sick so that we have to be on medication. Because all you have to do is look around. Everybody's overweight, everybody's sick, everybody's on medication for anxiety, depression, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, just, a multitude of things. And that's because they've been told for years, don't eat red meat. That's the culprit. So now we've got everybody eating lots of grains, lots of fruits, lots of vegetables, and you can see what it's done for us. So now we've got this documentary coming out with plenty of doctors telling us that that was wrong. We've been misled. And then we're going to also hear from tons of people who have been doing the carnivore diet for years. That's a lot of people will say, oh, it's a new thing. It's a fad. No, it's not. It's been around forever. But we're just now hearing about it because people that did it felt like, people are going to look at me and think something's wrong with me. I'm stupid. Why are you eating red meat? Everybody knows that's the culprit for heart disease and gout and all that stuff. And so they felt ashamed, embarrassed. And yet these are the people that are living to be in their 90s and hundreds. So we're finally waking up to this. And this next year, we're going to see more and more people aware of that. And more people are obviously becoming aware that the foods that were being sold in our grocery store are just poison, just absolute poison. So I'm excited. I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see that people are waking up to this fact. And all I can do on my channel is share my story and my experience. And let me tell you, I'm 63, and this is the first time in my entire life that I have felt good. Even when I was young, before I had any other health issues, I never ever felt really very energetic or good. You feel okay just being younger. It's just part of being young. But never, I feel better now than I did in my 20s, just from eating a better diet, eating the proper human diet. And it's been amazing. I have energy. I don't get sick. I've healed so many different ailments that I've had: depression, anxiety, sleep problems, and just a host of issues. I could go on, and it's just from eating properly. My body has healed itself. And now at this point, I have lost some weight. I started out 100 pounds overweight. I'm down. I was down 50 pounds, but I gained 2 pounds by, consuming way too much cream over the holidays. So I'm back on the bandwagon, but I have another 52 to lose. So I still have a ways to go. So my journey's not over, and I hope you'll stick with me and join me on this. And I'll always be honest. I always come out and let you guys know when I'm doing things that I think are wrong. And I'm still learning. I'm a newbie 6 months in, because this isn't just a diet. You do it, you lose the weight, and then you go back off. This is a lifestyle. This is going to be a forever thing. And I'm looking forward to this next year, because not only is it going to be an epic year for the carnivore community, I feel like we've just come together. We're a tribe, as George said. And never have I experienced this with any other diet that I've gone on. I've never had this kind of support. The carnivore community is the most helpful community, the most supportive community. They're not judgmental. There's no carnivore police. You're going to find a few fanatics. That's with everything. And I think for the most part, they just want to be helpful. So I try not to take offense. But most of the people on this, they just want to help. They want to share what they've learned and what's working for them. And it's been amazing for me. I say this repeatedly, but I would not have stuck with it or come this far had it not been for the carnivore community being so supportive and so helpful. So yes, if you are looking to do this and you want to be part of the community, just, leave me a comment. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with. Everybody that I've come across so far has been so helpful, so kind. And there is a lot of carnivore pages, a lot of YouTube pages, but they're all different. There's the younger people, there's old people like me. I'm probably in the oldest category. There's only a few people that are older than me, but there's people that have to lose hundreds of pounds. There's some people that don't have to lose any weight. They're just in this for the healing. So all our stories are different. We're from all over the globe. And the one thing that we have in common is that we just want to feel our best. It's not a competition. There's no reward for being the best, strictest carnivore. It's just about doing what's going to work for you. I've experienced many other diets, most other diets, and never have I found this kind of healing. And the weight loss, now that's going to be a different issue. That differs from person to person, I found out. Everybody's different. Some people won't lose any weight until they heal whatever issues they have to heal. And you have to be prepared for that. Some people start losing weight right away. We're all different. I did lose some weight right away just because it was the elimination part of it, just by cutting out all the excess carbs and the sugars and all that stuff. So yeah, I did lose a little bit at the beginning, but then it kind of stopped. And I struggled with that. I was like, darn it, because I did want to lose the weight, but I also wanted to heal. I also wanted to feel better. So I did stick it out because that was happening. And then after a while, I realized I wasn't necessarily losing pounds. It wasn't registering on the scale, but I was losing inches, which that blew me away. I looked at photos of myself in the same outfit, 6 months apart, and I couldn't believe the difference because the scale wasn't showing it like that. According to the scale, I hadn't lost that much weight. But then when I looked at these pictures, I thought, I am losing the fat. So be prepared for that. Right now, I am trying not to weigh myself. A lot of people say throw away the scale, and I agree with that, especially at the beginning. You probably should. But I also follow the philosophy, what we measure, we manage. And I can easily convince myself that I'm losing weight or I'm thinner than I am. And then I get on the scale and I realize, no, you're not. I need to know so that I can change things if I need to. Like, for instance, during this period of time when I was consuming more heavy cream and dairy, I didn't feel any fatter. I didn't feel like I had gained any weight. And I thought, okay, this is good. I'm enjoying myself and everything's great. And it wasn't until I got home and I stepped back on the scale and I realized, oh, okay, no, that wasn't working for me. I cannot consume that much dairy. And that's good. So now I know I'll cut that back. I don't want to be addicted to the scale. I don't want to be a slave to the scale. I just need to know that what I'm doing is working. So I will get on the scale occasionally just to make sure, because like I said, I can convince myself that I'm doing better than I am. So I will get on probably, I'd like to do it like maybe once a month at this point. I started using the tape measure, but then I stopped doing it. I didn't do it. I should have done it right before we went on vacation. So I'm going to have to do that again. I'll start next week. I'll start measuring myself to see where I am with that. I don't feel like I've lost any inches, so I'm not too sure about that. But anyway, yes, this next year I had, everybody has their word of the year, and a lot of people are going with thrive in 2025. I'm going to be alive in 2025. And yeah, I know it rhymes and that's great. But my word originally was just magical. I wanted this to just be a magical year, and magic is something you create. So I felt like I was really going to work towards that. But then I realized, you know what? My word of the year, I'm changing that, is going to be joy. I am starting to feel so much joy since I have healed and started feeling better. And I want to experience more joy. And that's what I've been getting with the carnivore diet. Like I said, I don't feel like I did on other diets where I felt deprived. I feel joy. I feel happy on this diet. I even deemed it the happy diet when I very first started because I felt happy. I have mood swings. And if you watch me for a while, you're going to see that. That's something that I am working on healing from, and I've gotten a lot better. But I want to experience more joy. I want to be more in the moment of things, but I couldn't be because I didn't feel good, and I was always focused on, feeling better. Someday I'm going to feel better and I'm going to enjoy doing this or that. But right now I just, all I could think about was I don't feel good. And now that I feel good and I'm clear-headed, I can actually enjoy the moment and focus on the positive aspect of all of this. Although I did feel a little depression coming home yesterday after spending almost 2 weeks with my daughter and granddaughter. But this morning I woke up and I was looking forward to doing that live stream with my friends. And guess what? I felt joy again. And that's a good feeling for somebody like me who has been depressed for a very long time. I dealt with it. I didn't even realize most of the time that I was depressed. It was just the way I was. And it wasn't until I started feeling better that I realized how depressed I was. About a year ago was when I hit my rock bottom, year and a half now. And that was because I had lost my sister, who I had taken care of for several years. She ended up passing away. I was her caregiver. And 2 days later, my only daughter and granddaughter, who had been living with us, had moved up north. My daughter started a career up there, and it was just already planned. So anyway, I found myself in the midst of my deepest depression ever, and weight gain, and just felt horrible. And I had to do something, and that's, basically I ended up finding carnivore. It's a little bit longer than that, but I decided that I wanted to get healthy and I wanted to enjoy my life. I didn't want to just look forward to dying, because 62, I thought that was basically the next step. If I lived to be 70, I was going to be doing good. And now I don't feel that way. Now I'm looking forward to doing things. I'm looking forward to going on a overnight backpacking trip with my family, and kayaking, and a canoe trip that we want to do, and all these things that I would have never considered. I would have thought was way beyond me. I'm past that. I'm too old for that. I don't feel that anymore. I feel like I can do those things. I know I can do those things. I do need to do some weight training because I'm going to be carrying a very heavy backpack. And that part, even though I've lost as much as my backpack weighs, it's different, when you're actually carrying it. So I need to build up my upper body strength. But I go walking daily. I walk a couple miles now. That's huge for me. I can go hiking without any issues. And I just, I, the quality of my life has just changed so drastically. And I'm hoping to share that with other people by not talking your ear off. 20 minutes. Wow. I can really talk. So anyway, I need to cut this short. I wanted to just, welcome you guys all into the new year with me. I think this is going to be an amazing year for all of us. I'm super excited. There's so many new people joining us. If you get a chance, I'm going to list, some links below that I really think you should look into. Another one is a new young friend of mine, Meat Base 365. He's got a lot of good info to share. And I just think, there's so many wonderful channels out there. I'm sure if you don't appreciate me and my story, there's somebody out there that will, be more, that you might actually connect to more. But don't hesitate, because I think this is going to be our best year yet. I'm really looking forward to it. So I did want to share some clips from my vacation, but I think this is a little too long. So I think I'll make a separate video for that. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys go, and I will see you in the next video. Happy New Year, guys.